YouTube, you know what time it is. It's MightyFan time. And this is a reply video to a challenge that was set forth to us by our newest Jersey head in the Jersey Head community here on YouTube. His handle on YouTube is NFL Jerseys for Life. And he's probably one of our younger members of our Jersey Heads community, and I just think it's great to see people of all ages joining in on this community, keeping it growing. So a big shout out to you, NFL Jerseys for Life. Thanks for the challenge. It was a great challenge. Really made me think, and it brought back some good memories for me from back in my youth. So, thank you for that. And I do want to give I also want to congratulate you. I know you're a big Packers fan, and they did win Super Bowl 45, so congratulations to you. I only hope that someday I can watch my Eagles win one. I just want one. I'm not going to be greedy. Till then, hey, Flyers and Phillies, yeah, they can do their thing, and the Sixers, well, they're playing better. But yeah, so there you go. But again, big shout out to you, and to those who haven't subscribed to him yet, please make sure you do so. So there you go. Okay, on to the challenge. It's an interesting challenge, it really was. It was name favorite past and present players. You can pick the sport or whatever sports you want. For me, I'm a 4-for-4 guy. I watch all four major sports: football, basketball, baseball, and hockey. And so I gotta go all four there. And I will start with the one I'm wearing here, which is hockey. My favorite former player would have to be the former goalie of the Flyers, Ron Hextall. Of course, Hexy. Just great goalie back in the day. Of course, he was the first goalie ever to score a goal. And he got into plenty of fights and all, so I always respected him. I don't have his jersey yet, but I do have a blank orange Flyers jersey from that era that he played. And I wanted to have that. It's one of my goals for this year, to get that jersey turned into a Hextall. So I'll probably be doing that at some point this year. Current player is the guy I'm wearing, Mike Richards, the current captain of the Flyers. I've always liked Mike Richards, and I think he's a great captain. He proved it last year, helping guide them to the Stanley Cup Finals. They lost in Game 6 in overtime to the Blackhawks, but this year they're really playing well, and he's helped. He's definitely captaining the ship. So, so yeah, Mike Richards is my favorite current player. I do have to give an honorable mention to a former player, Mario Lemieux. I just have to, because he was one of my favorites growing up too. So I do have plenty of Mario Lemieux jerseys. Just refer to some of my older videos on YouTube. You'll see them. All right, so that's hockey. Football. I gotta go. My all-time favorite player would have to be Jerry Rice. Of course, the great wide receiver, just Hall of Famer, maybe the greatest ever as far as wide receivers go. I know NFL Network and NFL Film just did the top, was it like the top 100 players or whatever it was, I think, and Jerry Rice finished number 1. So on that list, no, that's their list, and people can come up with their own lists or whatever. So I did think that was kind of cool that he finished number 1. But yeah, I do have a I do have a not pictured here, but I do have a Jerry Rice jersey. It's an old Wilson replica jersey. It was actually the second football jersey I ever owned, and it was the old red 49ers jersey. Really nice. It's one of my favorites. It still fits me, actually. So I'm pretty happy about that. Favorite current player, I know that you yourself, NFL Jerseys for Life, you're not an Eagles fan. You can't stand them, but you know what? That's my team. I live in the area, so I'm a diehard Eagles fan. So I gotta say my favorite current player is Deshaun Jackson. Wide receiver of the Eagles. Mr. Excitement. You can just ask the Giant fans about him. But anyhow, I had to say. But anyhow, that takes care of football. Baseball, since spring training's here, and really looking forward to the Philly season. Oh man, I'm really looking forward to it. Former player, I have to say, Ken Griffey Jr. I remember him in his heyday with the Mariners back in the day, and the guy did it all. He hit. He was one of the best outfielders in the game, and just a real treat to watch. And I always said that if he didn't get hurt all those years, I think he probably would be the all-time home run king right now. But, you know, it is what it is. You know, he can't help with the injuries, and, you know, they happen. But he was a great player to watch. He really was. But I do have to give an honorable mention to Darren Dalton, too, the former catcher of the Phillies. I have to use one of the '93 Phillies in there. Current player, obviously, is a Philly. Jimmy Rollins, the shortstop. I've been a fan of his since he was a rookie, and just always respected his game. I like his leadership. I mean, if they were captaincies in baseball, I think he'd probably be the captain of the Phillies. You know, just great player, great shortstop. Maybe, I mean, with all due respect to Larry Bowa, he could be the all-time greatest shortstop in Phillies history. Just a great player. And, of course, one of the catalysts of the '08 championship World Series champs. So, there you go. Honorable mention, of course, to Chase Utley, though, because I've been a fan of his too since he was a rookie. And Ryan Howard. I mean, I can go on about the Phillies, so I'm just going to stop there. As far as basketball goes, my favorite, I'm going to start with current player. Now, I'm a big Sixers fan, but that being said, I can't help but I do appreciate this guy's game. He's just, I think, a great player, even though he beat my Sixers in '01. But I got to go Kobe. I mean, I did go to high school with him for a year. So, yeah, we're both the same age, 32, and his game's better than mine at 32, but, okay, his game was always better than mine. But I respect his game, I really do. Great player, one of the all-time greats, and, you know, I have watched him since he was a rookie, since, you know, I went to high school with the guy, and also I was interested in watching how he did in the pros, and I think he's panned out pretty well. Wish he didn't beat my Sixers in '01, though. I kind of... But as far as my former favorite player, I can't pick one with these three. I gotta just say them all. I hope you understand. It's just too hard for me to pick one out of these three. I gotta go Allen Iverson because he was my first real favorite Sixer, and he was a guy that I followed through. To this point, the only guy I just followed throughout his whole career as a Sixer. I know he played at Denver and Detroit and maybe a day with Memphis, but he'll always be a Sixer. I mean, he had his best years here, and I do believe they'll retire as number 3 someday. And, you know, just to watch him, you know, I kind of felt like a lot of the old head Sixer fans felt, you know, when they say they watched Dr. J throughout their whole career, or Wilt Chamberlain. Now, obviously, AI never, you know, got a championship like they did, but I do feel privileged at least to say I watched that guy throughout his whole career here in Philly. And I was at that game when he crossed over Michael Jordan in his rookie year, and that's when I said, I'm going to watch this guy, and, you know, I've always been a fan. I have plenty of AI jerseys. Just refer to one of my, I have a video just dedicated to my AI jersey collection. I don't have the Mitchell Ness one, though. I hope to get that one someday, the rookie year home white, because that's the jersey he wore when he crossed over at Jay those years ago. And I hope to get that one someday, and that will, for me, complete the collection. But yeah, I gotta say Iverson. But also, I can't leave these two out because I am a big Sixers fan. But if the Sixers are here, there's another team that was right there, and that would be the Chicago Bulls. I was a humongous Bulls. I still do follow the Bulls. I do. I was a humongous Bulls fan. I was like you are with the Packers now. I mean, that was me with the Bulls. I had everything. Bulls. Everything. Every type of paraphernalia, the whole works. And when I grew up, it was Michael Jordan. It was Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. For me, they were my two favorite players, you know, in basketball, and maybe in sports altogether. It's funny because years later, I mean, I look back on those days, it still brings a smile to my face, you know, because that team was just such a special team. I mean, it's just a great team. It was watching greatness, you know, and I really appreciated that team. And from 91 to 93, and then 96 to 98, the 3 titles in a row, both, you know, those 2 times, it was just a great thing to watch, as far as I'm concerned. I know there's a lot of fans of other teams that are like, but Because the Bulls, they hurt a lot of people back in the day. But you know what? They came up, and just how they got to be where they were, losing to the Pistons in the playoffs earlier this year, and then finally, breaking through and then becoming that dynasty. It's just a great story. And, Michael Jordan, how can you not like the guy? Growing up, you're my age, that was when you watched him in his heyday, and, he was just a dominant player. And, of course, Scottie Pippen. I just always respected his game. He was one of my favorite players, and I have a basketball signed by Scottie Pippen, and, I was happy to see him, get to the Hall of Fame. Him and Jordan. I mean, everybody knew Jordan would be there, but, to see Pippen get in there, too, that was pretty special for me, because, like I said, I watched both of them when they were in their heyday together, Batman and Robin. As far as the jerseys go, for them, I've had these since I was young, and they still fit me. But this is a home white Scottie Pippen. There you go. Like I said, I was just such a huge fan of the Bulls. People used to call me Chicago East because I was in the East Coast, but I was a big Bulls fan. And like I said, I still do follow them. But there's Jordan. And then these are champion replicas, but they're still hold a special place for me. Just something from my youth. And like I said, when I got this hat at the Super Bowl sale this year, it just brought back a lot of good memories. I said I have to get a Mitchell and Ness Bulls hat someday. I have plenty of Sixers and stuff, but I had to get a Bulls. And I picked up this hat a few years ago at Modell's, and I did so because it has the 6 championship banners on the back, and I remember every single one of them. Because I used to, after they won the championships back in the day, I used to run to like the local sporting store and get the locker room shirt and hat and the video, chronicalizing that year's team, and a lot of good memories. Not quite there with when the Phillies won in '08. That's just top of everything. But when the Bulls are right there too when they were winning. Anybody that knows me, remembers me back in the day, can attest to that. I was Mr. Bulls. All right, well, that's going to do it for my reply to your challenge. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm sorry. I know I kind of used a bunch of different players, but I had to. I couldn't, it's too tough for me not to, particularly with basketball. I had to go with those 3. I couldn't pick one over them. One out of the 3, I should say. But yeah, great challenge by you. I really, I thought that was a great challenge because it helps us, get to know one another, all the jersey heads, and say, okay, well, this was our favorite players, past and present. It's a cool thing. So, thank you for that challenge. And it was neat to kind of go down memory lane a little bit for myself. All right. Well, once again, a big shout out to NFL Jerseys for Life. And, of course, to all my subscribers, keep subscribing, keep hitting that subscribe button, not just to me, but to all the other Jersey heads. And also, of course, make sure you subscribe to NFL Jerseys for Life. And, of course, to all my fellow Jersey heads out there, big shout out to all you guys, too. And to all my friends and family. MightyFan's saying peace. I'll see you in the next video. All right, go Flyers, go Phillies, Sixers, yeah, Bulls. Eagles next season. All right, I gotta go.